Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Monday, September 29th. They're going to remember this day, hopefully, as the largest ever sell off in the Dow, down 777 points. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable is the only words you can have for the morons we have in power voting down this bill today. Hopefully, these clowns saw what their inaction has done. Shame on the GOP for what they did. Just as many Democrats, however, also voted against this bill. Pretty much these morons voted for what the people told them. Instead of taking a leadership position, these wussbags, afraid of not being elected in the coming election, decided to do what Joe Average, who has no friggin' idea what the hell is going on and think this is a Wall Street bailout, and listen to them, and the market tanked. So, the Main Street guy who, those morons marching on Wall Street today, not wanting this bill to pass, in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to see these same clowns marching on Congress saying, do something because we've lost our houses, lost our jobs, and the economy is further in the crapper because the credit markets have frozen even more, if that's even possible. Multiple banks failing overseas in Europe, European banks coming in, taking over three or four banks, massive credit crunch, banks refusing to lend. Fed did its largest ever liquidity infusion together with the ECP. The amount of money that the Fed put into the system today is larger than the amount of liquidity they put in for every single financial crisis over the last 20 years. That should tell you how fucked up things are right now. Excuse my French. This is what happens when we rely on these morons in Congress to actually do something, and that's what they are, morons. Hopefully, people will vote these clowns out. You can look and see how your local, congressman voted on this one. Surprise for me on how mine voted. I won't be voting for any of those morons again. Anyway, to the charts. Dow 15-minute chart. I've adjusted it a little bit here. Uh, Really hard to say where we're going to go. We have, a massive tank today, likely a spillover into tomorrow's session. The blind morons in Congress, it's unlikely that they're actually going to get anything done before the market opens tomorrow. So unless the Fed or Treasury are able to come out with some other stopgap measure to while we wait for these, you know, morons, there's no other word to describe them, to come out and do something. Who knows where we're going to go? If we actually look at the charts, here we have the Dow daily chart. We're still in this bullish falling wedge. We broke the previous low support of last week. Next support is 10,200, 10K to 10,200, and that's actually the target I gave in the video last month for our September October tank bottom. Wow, if we had a time machine to go back last month and short even more stuff, wow, we would have been so much better. But who would have thought we'd be where we are the way we got there? Bullish percent index yet again has called this market to a T. As I mentioned, the last couple of pre-tank moves, we got to 40 and then plunged. At least this time we've broken into the 20s, and a move under 25. 20s are typically a buy. Tomorrow we're likely to see the Nasdaq bullish percent index dip to 20, which is a further buy indication. The VIX index got up to 48 today, so that's getting close to a buy indication. Everyone and their mom is throwing in the towel. The end of the world is here. Run for the hills. That's usually when bottoms are made. However, the way stuff is dropping, there's just no buyers out there right now. It is very, very hard to go in and start nibbling stocks. If we see another drop tomorrow, it's likely we're going to have to probably start nibbling on some plays, but I just don't want to throw out anything as of yet. SMH is probably where most of our focus is going to be. This one broke down big today, down $2. It should rebound just as fast when we bottom out. even though we got our initial entry here, if we see any more downside tomorrow, we'll average down. We did this back in March and April before the SMH rallied 15%. It's not like a stock that's going to zero. The SMH will bounce back. That's why, if we're looking at anything to add right now, I prefer the ETFs over regular stocks that are manipulated even worse than the ETFs can be. Actually, news just crossed now. It looks like the morons in Congress are not going to reconvene until Thursday. So, more turmoil likely to come. On a side note, is it any wonder that I guess they're now saying a dozen or so Republicans who were going to vote yes voted no after, if you were watching Pelosi's speech right before the vote, I mean, it was unreal. Here she is trying to drum up votes, and she came out and bashed the Republicans and the president. I mean, what the hell? Not saying the GOP is not at fault; they are majorly at fault, but Democrats just as bad. We need to get rid of these morons that are in power right now. If this isn't a wake up call to Joe Average, who the hell knows what is? But looks like we're not going to get any relief tomorrow, at least from these clowns. Hopefully the Fed's got something, or they're going to be pumping in more liquidity because overseas markets are likely to sell off big again tonight. Again, things look really, really bad, but every storm passes and the sun comes out after every storm. So, as bad as things look now, it will get better. So, don't go jumping out your windows. There will be trades. We relied on these morons in Congress to bail us out. What a mistake that was. We should know, better than that, as they say. And, there's not much else I can add to this other than see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.